Welcome to another edition of Big. I guess it's start. Well, welcome to another edition of Big Top 20 Countdown. This week we're counting down the top 20 gospel songs according to who? BDS.com. Plus, we're talking to our guest, Pop Vandal. And right now what we're doing is let's go to the number 20 song. The number 20 song is actually one of my favorites. It's by Jabari Johnson. This song is called One Touch. Let's get into it on Big Top 20 Countdown. Yeah, that was the number 19 song. Brian Courtney Wilson with Sure As. We're talking to our guest, Pop Vandal. What's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Feeling good. How's everything on your end?
Yeah, man. Tell my listeners about yourself.
What I would say about myself is I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an independent artist. I don't have a certain genre. I chose hip hop as a lane. I wouldn't call my music holy hip hop. I would call it conscious music, but it is spiritual because I have a dialogue of hidden codes I put in my music because the industry that we deal with, the overall industry is wicked. And God has what he raised up with talent called undercover agents, even spiritually. And how do you tap into the wealth of the wicked? Yes. By creating a dialogue of music that may sound secular, but it's not really secular. And then when you blow up and you accept it, then you come with a dispensation of grace, the wisdom that God put in you. You know what I mean? There's nothing to do about it. You flood the gates with it, So that's who I am. I'm pretty much independent artist, entrepreneur, but all my gifts I use to kind of like be the last warning, I would say, to people in the industry that I came across over the last 15 years or so. So I have gifts of discernment and prophecy in me.
How did you get into music? Yes. How did you get into music?
I fell in love with it at a very young age. I had a man in my life, which I thought was my biological dad. He was my stepfather. He got murdered when I was about 8.5 years old. So I found music as therapy and a way out. I started listening to a lot of music, and then I used to record on my mom's cassette tapes. I'll put tape or tissue in the end of it and record. I used to get whooped for it. But I record on her and my grandmother's like Marvin Gaye's or Barry White tapes and stuff like that, and Prince of all things. And I'll beat on like pots and pans in the kitchen and try to rhyme and stuff, man, and just release. You know what I mean? I discovered that I love music at about the age of 8.5 to 9.
Wow, that is so cool. Wow, you guys want to talk more, I guess, Pop Vandal. Let's get into number 18 song. Number 18 song comes from Jokia. The song is called Let Him In. Let's get into it on Big Top 20 Countdown. Yeah, y'all, that was the number 17 song, James Fortune with Never Let Me Down. We're talking to our guest, Pop Vandal. Brother, you were telling me a little bit about your story. And first of all, I want to send condolences to your family of your grandfather, passing, and just tell us a little bit. Just tell us.
That's what died everything.
A little bit.
Pretty much, as I was saying, I got involved in music after my stepfather was murdered. About 8.5 years old, I was 8.5 years old, and I found music as a way out. So after like 3 to 4 months, maybe after that, I started trying to write my first song. I remember I called myself trying to write like a song to him. And I never completed it, but like 2 years went by. I was 18, so around 10 years old. Ghetto Boys had a song called My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me that came out. It used to be on the radio a lot, like in 91 or so. So when the song would play by the lyrics going, I would try to write my own lyrics, and I was trying to write a song to dedicated to my stepfather that got murdered. And I didn't know how to write bars then. So when you write verses, it's called bars, where you write in increments, where you'll write one line, and then you'll write another line. And at the end of every line, you'll write a word that rhymes with that first word in that first line. Those are called bars when you're writing hip hop verses. And it pretty much started from there, man. Just the loss of a man that significantly played a big role in my life at a very young age and taught me some things that stick with me to this day, including having kids that not biologically mine, but I treat them like mine because of what he taught me. He told me when you meet a woman and they have kids that are not yours, even if you have kids with them, it's called a package deal. To let that woman know your intentions, because she has to not only think for herself, but she has to think for those children as well. So I kept that in me, man. And then when I grew to an older age, years later, I'm actually living with part of that in me because of what he instilled in me under the age of 10. part of that is just, without even realizing it, God being a father to the fatherless, because when we represent the kingdom of God, I'm a man of God. The love of the Father is in me, and I'm a father to the children that don't have a father present in their life, you know? So pretty much have been involved in music since around that time, to be honest, since he left Earth, and it's carried me all these years. And throughout my journey, I've been having a gift, like since maybe it's about, like I discovered that I started recording when I was about 13 or 14 years old in the recording studios, and I'm 41 now. As of March 14, I just turned 41. I've done sold out shows, stuff like that. I made a lot of records. I've made a lot of what they call mixtapes, and I've been taken for music too. People stole music from me in the industry and made a lot of money off of it because I didn't learn about copyrights or lawyers and how important it is not to let people hear your music until you patent it and copyright it. But through my journey, I found myself around a lot of people, from the Kanye Wests to the Jay-Z's, Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, DMX, Young Dolph, all these different artists that you hear on the radio, Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, you name it. I've been around them in the last 15 years. And yeah, I've been offered $23 million, believe it or not, by the Illuminati. The Illuminati is real, like I don't know, Saints. That's not a made up thing. That's not a fabricated thing that people put online on YouTube. It's a real system that exists that's ran by the Baphomet, which is one of the devil's hierarchy demons. And it's ran by Legion. Legion has different names. You know, Legion represents gangs, Legion represents drugs, Legion represents anti or wicked government stuff, and Legion represents music, you know, and it's a big battle in between Yahweh, the Father, and Satan. So Yahweh has people involved with all these fields too that I just named. I'm one of them persons that he chose for entertainment because I have gifts of prophecy, you know what I mean? And when a prophet gives a warning and you don't take heed to the instruction, the fall comes after. It says pride comes for the fall. So I'm kind of like one of the ones that's chosen to be part of the last warning to people in the industry that I've been around. And I just won't compromise. I'll be on top right now as a Drake and everybody else because I had that gift, that talent. But I rejected devil's offers, just like the devil led Christ to the highest height in the wilderness and offered him the world. If you bow down and worship him, if I would give in to the Illuminati and accepted those contracts, that's like me doing the opposite of what Christ did on that highest mountain. That'd be me giving it to the devil's offers. And I trust God because he gave me the gift and he said that our gifts will make room for us. You know, I think it's what it is, Zephaniah 9:11, when it talks about some, you know, the prize may not be given to the wisest person, or the race may not, you know, be won, or the gifts or the recognition of the fastest person in the race. But it says, notice that time and chance happen to them all. That means we all have a time and chance where the opportunity gonna come. And if we prepared for it when it comes, then we won't miss that opportunity. It means every person on earth that's been created by God has the time and opportunity to do something great with the gifts he gave them if they discover what that gift is. And they're gonna use it for his glory, I would say. Yeah.
That is so true, man. You said wise words, man. You're not lying about that. We're gonna talk more to our guest, Pop Vandal, but let's get back into this countdown. The number 16 song comes from Kenny Robinson. This song is called Something Good. Let's get into it on Big Old Top 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah. Y'all, that was the number 15 song, Todd Dulaney featuring Smokey Norfolk. That song is called Satisfied. Now it's time to get into the extra song of the week, which comes from Pop Vandal. This song is called What Is Life? Give me the story behind this song. Give me the story behind this
Life
song.
is a song actually that I recorded sitting in my car watching my two younger daughters play in the park on my phone. I have this app called Rap Chat. I have different apps. So when I'm not in the studio, I perfected ways and found things online that's like handheld studios that you can download on your phone. And I perfected the way of mixing down and all that. And it's literally lyrics that just came to me. It's called freestyling. I write too, but I'm able to freestyle things that most artists can't even write down because of the God-given talent he gave me. I've been having this talent for all my life, apparently, but I've been working on it for 32 years. 32 years. So what is life is about how you grow up, what we go through, and, you know, in a world full of racism, and you're not treated right because of how you look, you know, and murders that go on in the hood, and, you know, when people kill each other, and the culture of black people, black on black crime. So I'm talking about all these things on there, but it's literally something that came to my mind. I was watching my kids play, and I was like, this is what life's about. So when I said that to myself, I was like, what is life about? You know? And I said, you know what? I had that beat already on, the beat that's on there. I don't own a beat. It's, you know, they have different producers that put stuff online. Yeah. And it's free to use. You just can't make profit off of it. So a lot of my gift, what I do with my gift, I like to inspire people. So I like to put it out there where I call it bait, where you influence people while you're building up your fan base. So that's where it came from, man.
Yeah, so let's get into it. This is the first extra song of the week. This song is called What Is Life by Pop Vandal on Big. Oh, start 20 countdown, you know, Soul Drain. Yeah, y'all, that was the first extra song of the week. Man, that's a bop right there. I like it. I like it, man. It's really, really cool, man. You said you're in the music, man. You were talking really deep, man. Give me a little bit more. Tell me a little bit more.
Man, the music industry.
Is there something that you haven't done that you would really like?
Well, I mean, I'm in a couple of indie movies that ain't came out yet. One of them is called Lady in the Alley. I have a friend of mine by the name of Roxy Part Queen. Her name is Charlene Stoner, government name, but her entertainment name is Roxy Part Queen. And she wrote this movie based off of a friend of hers. It's based off a true story. And a friend of hers was pretty much she was a drug head, you know, methamphetamines, and she had lost her place due to drugs. And she had a daughter that was young. The daughter was maybe about 4 or 5 years old. So they ended up living inside they ended up living inside like this one room apartment or something. She got high and fell asleep and something was lit and the house burned down and the baby was lost in the fire, you know? So it led to her being more strung out and ended up living in the alley inside a tent. I play a character that a lot of people won't be so fond of. His name is Enzo. And the character, he's very cocky. He's a drug dealer. He's a drug dealer that ended up delivering a final blow to her last high of getting hit, you know, getting high off the stuff, and she died from it pretty much. So without spoiling it, a dude that's very close to her that used to get high, that changed his life around and fell in love with her, ended up avenging her death and killing me at the end of the movie. But wow, that's what I'm in that one. And then I got another one that's based off my life called Making Moves. Only 80% shot. It hasn't been released because the guy that was filming it, that was co-directing it, I didn't even know that he was a big drug dealer out here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where I'm at years ago. And the feds seized him and took the property. And that film is sitting on one of the computers that we were trying to get out of property for like the last 16 years. But it's a story, it's an autobiography of my life. So I'm probably gonna rewrite it because I wrote the movie. I write a script well, and I'm writing 2 books and try to get it redone myself, you know. So pretty much that's one of the things that I'm big on. I want to be able to reach people in every way possible because I guess a comedy too. Like I figured I discovered that I'm good at making people laugh and all about inspiring people, man. So I want to be able to use these talents to inspire people, man, and change. And I believe that these are the major outlets. Hip hop is the biggest genre in the world. It is, and it's, you know, a lot of these rappers nowadays in the secular world would say they're on demon time. Well, me, I'm on God time. That's why I got the song called God Bless. The other things I talk about in my music, you know.
We're gonna play that song a little bit later. But y'all, speaking of songs, let's get back into this countdown. The number 14 song actually is a great song. It comes from Lamont Sanders. This song was called He Kept Me. Let's get into it. He Kept Me by Lamont on Big Old 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah. Yeah, y'all, we did for you. We did. For number 14 was Lamont Sanders, He Kept Me. Number 13 was Ricky Dillard, All of My Help. Number 12 was the new Fred Hammond song, Hallelujah. I didn't even know he was still making music. But y'all, let's get back into this comedy. Let's get into this comedy corner. This comedy corner is by yours truly. You know I do comedy too. So this is one of my comedy skits. Let's get into it. The comedy corner with me. All right, on Big Old Top 20 Countdown. Yeah, y'all, that was a couple of weeks ago. I celebrated my 12th year in comedy. I can't believe it. I'm still doing comedy. I'm still doing music. I'm still doing life. But y'all, we're not talking about me. We're talking to our guest, Pop Vandal. Pop Vandal, you say you're doing comedy. Have you ever done stand-up before? Or?
Once. I did stand-up once. I used to work for a company called the H-Wood Group. They based all over the world, but predominantly they launched in Hollywood, West Hollywood and Beverly Hills area. And I have worked for them over the last 6 years until I transferred to Vegas 2 years ago. And they got one of their spots that they went in partnership with Interscope Records on. It's called the Peppermint Club. It's right off of 7th Cente and Beverly Drive, right in West Hollywood. And Dave Chappelle actually has a contract with the company, and no comic comes to their perform without Dave Chappelle's approval. By the way, so I had the chance to be able to meet him and build some of a friendship with Dave Chappelle, also Kevin Hart. Will Smith did stand up there, believe it or not. His first stand-up ever, right there at that same club. So yeah,
Wow.
I actually had concerts there as well, performed there through a production team called Mighty Glam, where they promote artists, independent artists, and major artists. And man, believe it or not, I was blown away that I had I had like 3 sold out concerts there. Different people, independent artists and people in the industry came to see me. And I didn't know they loved my music. So I know I have what it takes, I would say. But that's where I first did stand up at, and the only time I ever did stand up. But I I'm good at impersonating things. I'm good at creating characters, you know, like your Tyler Perry or your Martin Lawrence type of stuff. That's been in me since I was a kid, actually entertaining like my mom and my aunties and people growing up and family members and friends and stuff. Yep.
I'm not gonna do like everybody's like, oh, think you get it, come do it. I'm not gonna put you on the spot like that, brother. I'm not gonna do that to you, man. I'm not gonna do like, give me an impression. I'm not gonna do all that. I'm not gonna do all that. You know how people do that. We ain't gonna do that today.
Are you familiar with Tony Thomas? Pastor Tony Thomas online?
Yeah.
All right.
So people, you got your faith seed offering, because I got this miracle manna cookie right here, and it's gonna heal you instantly. You ready? You got it? Okay, can you feel it now? Because God said you gotta sow into my ministry so I can go on my vacation. And that'll be a miracle.
Now I got the wig in the room. I got the wig with the toothpaste look and everything. You talking about getting into character? I do it.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You know what, y'all? We're gonna talk more to our awesome guest, Pop Vandal, but let's get back into this countdown. The number 11 song comes from Charles Jenkins and Fellowship Chicago, featuring the awesome Stephanie Mills. This song is called Never Knew Love. Let's get into it on Big Old Top 20 Countdown. Y'all, we did the number 10 song. That song was by Juan Winans and Deborah Joy Winans. That whole family can sing. And that song was called Never on My Own. The whole dang family is the singers. I'm like, dang. Anyways, but you guys, it's coming. It's the second extra song of the week, which also comes from Pop Vandal. This song was called Money I Burn. Tell me a little bit of this story, please. For the Money I Burn.
I was just, be honest, I had went to out here in Vegas. I went to a casino. I was hanging out with some cousins of mine, and decided to go try. I don't believe in luck. To try my hand, destiny, and I threw away I lost like $300, and I was tipped because this is hard-earned money. This is not like tips. It's like hard-earned money. So I'm like, man, I need to stop burning money. You know, like you waste money. You could have paid the bill with that, or you could have paid a car note, or bought some blankets or something, or tents for the homeless people out here, like some other dude, you know, I don't talk about online, but yeah, so that's where it came from. And we'll talk about, you know, it's very raw, you know, but if you really listen to it, there's no cursing on there, none of that. I got a message in there, you know. So that's where it came from, just making, you know, tossing and turning that night, thinking about consequences of what we waste in life. So you can take it further than that. When you burn away time, you wasting time is money, they say, right? I mean, you can be productive and change something. You can be busy setting out to change the whole world in some kind of way and inspire them, per se. So that's pretty much the concept of it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. The second extra song of the week by Pop Vandal. The song was called Money I Burn on Big Old Top 20 Countdown.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, y'all. Man, I like that song, Money I Burn, because I'm guilty of that too, because I can spend money like it. I can put up with $400 and tomorrow to be only 100.
Sometimes it can be clothes we don't need. Sometimes it can be unnecessary spending on food when we got food at home, you know.
Yeah.
Like that, man.
My thing is Chinese food. I love Chinese food. I can get the Chinese food.
God.
You know, but you said you're an artist. You live in Vegas, right? Why did you move to Vegas? What was your in Vegas?
Years ago, I'm an ex-gangbanger. I used to be a blood. I used to run with the Bloods in South Central LA. And God allowed it because it was predestined. Because 2 years before I got forced into gangbang, when I was 13 and a half. I played in a church play, and guess what I played? A gangbanger.
Wow.
And I forgot, it's a scripture, I think it's in Hebrews, where It says God gives power to the weak. For those who have no strength, God increases strength. So the pastor asked me when my time came up. He had a drug dealer, he had a prostitute, and then you had me. When they asked, you know, what can we help you with? I said, I've been a gangbanger all my life, and I just don't know how to go overcome. And the scripture was, God gives power to the weak. For those who have no strength, God increases strength. So the dude that played Christ ended up giving me that, healed me, and I overcame it. You fast forward, I was supposed to gangbang after my stepfather was killed. I was telling you about that earlier. 3 years later, not even realizing that God was going to allow me to go through a lot of stuff, being shot at, fragments hit me, stabbed, childhood friends.
Wow.
40-something childhood friends are gone from gun violence. I was getting shot at close range and all that. I'm still here. Anyways, at the age of 19, I gangbanged, active gang member, bang, not just claiming the hood, for about 7 years straight. So about 19 going on 20. And then I finally met an organization that I joined, church. And I studied the Bible for like 2 or 3 weeks. And during that time, people I was running with, that literally I'd be with every day, including my cousin, were killed, all killed behind one dice game. 17 dudes were killed behind one dice game. Because they witnessed one friend or one so-called homie kill another homie behind $1,500 he lost. So the dude looked at everybody that was out there that witnessed that, and he, one by one, they was setting them up. Month after month, they was getting killed. So they knew I would retaliate for my cousin's death. But the Most High told me to go to Vegas. That's how I ended up out here years ago. I just moved back to California in 09, then came back 2 years ago. Long story, anyways, journey. I was forced into gangbanging, you know, after playing in that play 2.5 years before that. And then years later, came up out of gangbanging and came into the ministry and went back into the same neighborhoods preaching the gospel. A Saul Paul type of situation. So yeah, that's pretty much it's been, I got some testimonies, man. Man. Yeah.
Wow. We're gonna hear more about it, more from you. But y'all, let's get into the number 9 song. The number 9 song comes from Elevation Worship and Maverick City Music. This song is called Jireh on Big
Ooh, I
Old
love that
Stuff.
song.
Yeah. Y'all, we just did a 3 in a row for you. Number 9 was Elevation Worship and Maverick City Music with Jireh. Number 8 was Jacqueline Carr with My Portion. And number 7 was Joshua Rogers with Still Going Trust. Now it's time to get into the independent song, which also comes from Pop Vandal. This is a song that you talked about earlier. This song is called God Lives. Tell me a little bit more about this, just a little bit more about the song.
This song right here, believe it or not, just like What Is Life, is a freestyle. A freestyle, for those who don't know what freestyling is, that's something that you don't write down. You just come right on the spot. It just comes to your brain. And I believe God just hits me with stuff because literally as music plays, words is coming in. Even when I'm asleep, I hear music. And I was led into a vision that, you know, I don't share with a lot of people because a lot of people think I'm on the highest drug, even say these type of things, but visions still happen, y'all. It says, old man dream dreams, young man have visions. I'm not an old man yet. So I was on a beach praying in Manhattan Beach, to be exact, in 2011. And I was caught up in the clouds. And I've seen a figure. It was like this figure, an older man, but he didn't have no eyes or nothing. He had the mouth, ears, and all that stuff. And he had dreads, but his dreads were like made like thunderous clouds. In the room, it was like gray, white, and blue inside this room. And it was thundering all around it. And music notes floating everywhere with words in it. Literally, in these music notes, there were words right up under it, carrying and music on top of it. Like Godspeed, abundance, health, restoration, healing. And this figure, I was caught up and floating in this room. This figure I had my whole body, but he only had the face. And the eyes had streams of that lightning coming out of it like water going into my eyes. The ears, same thing, coming out the ears, going into my ears. And everything came out of it. He had dreads, music notes, all in those dreads with everything, words all in them, wisdom and all those stuff, coming into my brain cells, stuff, right? And the voice said this, you now had a gift that used to be Lucifer's in heaven, use it for my glorification. Came back out of that vision, and my music has celebrated since then. And Satan been fighting me since then and trying to kill me. And if he ain't able to kill me, he try to make offers. For the last 13, 14 years, I've been getting offers of millions of dollars from the industry. I won't compromise because I know exactly who it is. The Illuminati is wicked, you know.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. That's pretty much how this music stuff got to a higher level. I believe that vision. I already had the gift, but it accelerated to a higher level when I was led into that vision, and now it's unlimited. So where God lives come from is the sacrifice of Christ, and then me. I've been shot. Hit with a buckshot, but mainly when I flatlined, I got stabbed. Protecting my ex-fiance that died from cancer 7.5 years ago. And when I lived, and I know Christ covered the death, I said, you know what? God is real. I'm here. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. An angel was sitting on the edge of my bed at the hospital, Kaiser Permanente of San Francisco, in Venice to be exact, Cadillac in Venice, where I flatlined at.
Bro, we're gonna get more into that. So, but let's get into the song. Pop Vandal with God Lives on Big Old Top 20 Countdown. That was the Independent Song of the Week. Yeah, y'all, that was the Independent Song of the Week. Pop Vandal with God Lives. And you were telling me that before we took the break, you were telling us about your ex-fiance and your father. How important is that to your music, being a father?
Very important, because this is what gave me hope. And I have a 21-year-old son. He's out in California. He's doing good, and I'm thankful for him. But I purposely got his mom pregnant years ago. I was still gangbanging when I met his mom, because I was planning on dying before 21. He was born when I was 19, going on 20. I didn't have no hope. Even though I knew God, I didn't know God the way I know him now on an intimate level, meaning I wasn't living to my potential. I had these things in me. I don't know how to give birth to them. I have a lot of gifts. And I ain't talking about just music. I'm talking about like the discernment, the prophecy, the service, because I'm a servant. I love serving. I'm a cheerful giver. Being able to interpret dreams and even heal people. We have the power to heal cancer. We have the power to restore sight to the blind, y'all. We have the power to conquer the grave. Yeah. The same power that raised Christ from the grave is in us. So I wasn't living to that potential, man. And becoming a dad, after I held my son for the first time, I decided that I wanted to live and give him something that I didn't have. I grew up without my dad. Yes. Yeah, man.
Wow, that is crazy, man. Wow, but so now you're a father, you're an example. You're doing acting. You're doing a lot. I said one thing that you haven't done yet that you would really love to do.
Honestly, one of the most important things that I haven't done yet I like to do, obviously after I continue to take care of my immediate home, on a smaller note, but very important, is buy my mom a house and a dream home. I mean, a dream house and a dream car, out of appreciation. Because if it wasn't for the love God put in her and the endurance God put in her, I believe I wouldn't be here. Because God used her to not give up on her children,
Okay.
Yeah, man. Outside of the programs and stuff God put in me regarding troubled youth and homeless people, that's a whole other thing. But the immediate thing that I really set out to do, that's on my heart to do after taking care of my immediate family, is my mother. I want to bless her. I have been a blessing to her, but I have to do that. I'm going to do it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But you guys want to talk more to our guest, Pop Vandal. But let's get into the number 6 song. It comes from the Legends of Gospel, Dawkins and Dawkins. This song was called Come By Here. Let's get into it. Dawkins and Dawkins, Come By Here on Big O's Top 20 Countdown. Yeah, y'all, that was the number 5 song, Byron Cage, You Are. Yeah, I love that song. It's one of my favorites. But y'all, it's time to get to the old school gem of the week, which comes from the Birthday Man. I actually like his music. He's not gospel, but I still like him anyway. This is Busta Rhymes. This is his first single that he ever came out with. This song was called Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See. Let's get into it. The old school jam of the week, Busta Rhymes, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See on Big Old Top 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, that was really one of my favorites, y'all. That was the old school jam of the week. But we're talking to our guest, Pop Vandal. What advice would you give someone who would like to do what you're doing, or who is like been with you what you've gone through, or who would like to like get into rap or get into the entertainment industry? What advice would you give them?
I would say never give in to something out of desperation or out of wanting the abundance out of life, meaning, want to get out of poverty. A lot of us have our story, especially where we come from, struggling. And the industry is real big. There's a lot of artists out there in every state, and what the industry does nowadays is they endorse violence. They endorse sexuality. They endorse if you're putting death in your music. Never compromise. The gift God gave you, music came from heaven. We got to remember that. Music came from heaven. The reason why music has been poisoned because Satan wants to mock our Father. Remember, he was with the Father. He lost his position. He was with eternity. And he wanted to be him. So this whole thing that we've been going through on earth, believe it or not, it's been about him trying to prove something. He told the Father that he's gonna get his people to follow him. And the Father gave him permission to try. But the Father has that much confidence in us that he believed that we're not gonna compromise. So don't settle. Keep writing. You got to keep creating. Remember the parable of the talents. The one that buried the talent was cast out. The ones that multiplied the talent was given his talent and split it and celebrated into paradise. So for singers, actors, poets, musicians, comedians, fashion designers, entrepreneurs. Never settle, you know, and continue to work on it and continue to, and then fast as you pray. When you pray for something, fast behind it too. Because remember, faith without works is dead. So you got to put the work in, yes, but you got to have faith in what you're doing. Hebrews 11:1 says that faith is the substance of things that we hope for, but the evidence of things are not seen. So that means even though all these years I haven't seen billboards, my name on billboards, I haven't received the great awards that I know I've received, you know, I see myself there. You have to see it. You have to see the vision first. And you have to manifest it. So speak it out. You made in God's, not just image, that's a looking like God, but likeness. The likeness is the DNA of God. God thought about things, spoke into existence, it happened. You got to do the same thing. Speak your life, declare it over your life. Don't say I wish or I want. Say I'm gonna have, I'm gonna do this. And in the meantime, prepare for it as if it's already came and watch it happen. You know, just never settle though. God to promote you, God to give you distribution, God to send the people your way. Even if it take over 40 years, it's gonna be a Moses. Don't keep striking the rock. You got to start standing on the rock. My problem was I kept striking the rock. When I stopped striking the rock, start standing on the rock, I start manifesting. That's how I got the videos. I have three videos out independently. I have 3 songs out independently, and I have miscellaneous music out there on different websites that I put out for free. But I have over 2,000 songs now, and it's just a matter of time. Ownership is important. You want to own all rights to your creation. Protect it. Don't be so quick to share it with a lot of people, especially the people that's already in position. Because what makes you think they want to help you? They're trying to keep money. They're trying to stay rich. The rich don't want to help people that are not rich. You know, and most of the time they come at you asking for money to help you. That don't make sense. Your talent is what brings the money in. So they should already invest into you. But don't never sign over your rights to publish it or anything. Give them a percentage out of it, that's it. But own all rights to your masters or whatever you mastermind behind, whether it's clothing, whether it's a company, or whether it's music or film. So that's my best advice, you know, keep God first. Keep God part of everything you do. If you forget about that, Satan will take you captive, he will. You'll give into the devil's offers. I've been able to reject 23 million from the Illuminati. I'm not stupid. I'm not from doing nothing. I'm not gonna compromise my manhood, and I'm not gonna do no blood sacrifice ritual stuff. God gave me the talent, he's gonna put me in the position and where I'm supposed to be at. My gift will make room for me. And I'm here to glorify God. So just make sure your intentions is to glorify God and do not have a greedy for gain spirit. And you will succeed, I believe, eventually when your time comes. Yeah.
Yes. You're right. But y'all, let's get back in this countdown. The number 4 song is actually by the awesome Tamala Man. The song is called "He Did It For Me" on Big Roll Top 20 Count. Yeah, y'all, we did a 3 in a row for you. We did Tamala Man, "He Did It For Me." Number 3 was by Pastor Mike Jr. with "Amazing," and number 2 with Rudy Currents and Chrisette Michelle with "No Greater Love." Now it's time to get into the number 1 song. We've been waiting for this song all countdown. It's time to get the number 1 song. It's by E. Dewey Smith. This song is called "Your Presence Is a Gift," and it really is. God's presence is a gift. But let's get into it. The number 1 song, E. Dewey Smith, "Your Presence Is a Gift" on Big Top 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, that was the number 1 song. E. Dewey Smith, "Your Presence Is a Gift" with Pop Vandal. Tell everybody how they can reach you.
You can reach me. I'm on social media. You can reach me on Instagram at Pop and then Vandal. You can reach me on Facebook under the same name, Pop Vandal. You can reach me by email, poppav7@gmail.com. That's POPPAV7@gmail.com. Or you can feel free to call or text me. I don't mind giving my number out. That's 213-318-1864. Feel free to reach out for anything. I'm open to prayer. I'm open to helping people create things, write things, ideas, whatever. I'm all for it, man. Moses, for God's glory, I'm in it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I want to say thank you to everyone who's viewing this, who's actually listening to this. Y'all, we made it to the 41st show of this season. This is the 222nd show of the whole series. I want to say thank you for sticking with me for the past 6 seasons, the past 221. And
41st, huh?
Yeah, 41st show.
I just turned 41. That number is significant.
What?
And I was born on the 14th day. You reverse that, that's still 41.
Wow. Yeah. And I'm 41 going on 42. So. But you guys, And if you all want to reach me, you can reach me at www.linktree.com/OLUSHEYI. And we're gonna do the extra song of the week. Usually we do a gospel song, but since this whole countdown is gospel, we're gonna do the extra song. We just filmed this video like 5 days ago. This video is fantastic. This is my song. This is called Wildin' Out the Remix because the album is actually coming out on my birthday, June 3rd, and the single's coming out on my birthday, June 3rd. So let's get into it. Featuring my boy Bo Ryan, Wildin' Out Remix. God bless you. God keep you until we meet again. And the show is over.
Blessings.
Cool, brother.